Hey guys, so today I'm going to get into working with n8n and then another app I really like for content creation called Placid. So I'm going to take you through my workflow of kind of visualizing and working out the different templates or the different designs I use in Canva, transferring those to Placid, and then hooking everything up in n8n. So you could use ChatGPT, pull from RSS feeds, however you'd like to use it to dynamically create content and then have it be posted to your socials. So let's get into it. First thing we'll do is I'll hop over to my Canva and then we'll quickly just go through some of this. So these are ideas for the first slide of the carousel, and it will have just different dynamically create these headlines based off of, it could be an article that you're pulling, it could be some keywords you're trying to rank for. It all depends on what you put before this. But I like to come in here and build out the designs. So I'll come in here and get these to a place where I'm happy with the look of this. So these ones I've already done. And then when you do that, you can pull the different fonts you're working with, the different colors, pull the hex codes, and then even sizing for the images and the text, etc. And so what I do after that is I pull these guys or put this guy together, and then I hop over to Placid. So Placid, there's other ones called like Banner Bear and stuff like that. Placid, you can basically create templates or use some of theirs that are already made. And what you can do is you can hop in here and you can build them out and then dynamically change what's on them. So my plan with this is to have two, let's see. So my plan is to have like a layout like this. Okay, so alternating black and white, black for the items, gold on the black background. And everything is dynamically changing through the automations. So I got to build two front slides, and then the body slides, we'll call them, which I'll have be the opposite of what the front side background is. Okay, so if this is the black on white slide one, what you do is you just come in here and let's say you throw in a text. So we throw in a text box. We want to change this guy. Let's see, we'll change the font to 50, uppercase. Let's make it let's just call it enter semi-bold. And let's change this to like a dark gray. Two. There we go. Yeah, one. Okay. Yeah, you can do a lot in here. I'm just showing you some really quick stuff. And then also you can change the output settings for the image settings, quality, different color formats, PDF if you're outloading or outputting one. But basically what you want to do to prepare this for n8n is, or Make, this also integrates really well into Make. They have some native automate or some native modules for it. So what you want to do in here is figure out what's going to be dynamic and what's not. With this design, everything's going to be dynamic except for this. So this is the background color. I just pull a shape and then I pull it over the whole thing, set it to the back, and then you can just add the color you want. So this will stay the same. We don't have to worry about this. If you really want, you can click on this and just say elements not dynamic, but the other ones are all going to be dynamic. So we have our header, our main image, and then we'll call this one subheader. Okay, and we'll save that. We got this named black on white. Cool. So we'll come back for this guy. And then the same thing. It's pretty straightforward. These ones are pretty simple, pretty minimalist. But same thing. We got header and we got body. And we adjusted it already to the fonts and the colors that we're going to use. So we'll come into our workflow. And let's see. Let's add a trigger. Let's add a set field. And we'll just add field, and we'll just call this input. And we'll come back for that once we decide what we want to do with it. And let's see. We'll go into here and we will add, let's add an OpenAI message model. Let's go with 4.1. I can find it. Still trying to decide how I feel about 4.1. It's nice. Been working with it and been testing it against some of the other models, but it seems pretty comprehensive. All right, so we got a trigger, set field that will set, an OpenAI node, and then I'm going to pull a node in here. You want to use like an image-1, so Dolly or something. This is a node that I actually built for the GPT-image-1. I think you can use it now in the OpenAI nodes. I'm self-hosted with n8n, and whenever I've tried to use it, it throws an error. But this one works for me, and we'll pull in our response from the OpenAI node in front of that. Okay, and then we want to just pull in an HTTP request. And I think this will actually be a post. And then, oh, actually, we're going to need to actually, let me run this. Okay, let's run this and we'll see what happens. Okay, so what do we want this to do? Let's just do something simple. So let's say, let's throw in a system prompt. You are an expert content generator that creates unique and bold copy content, captions, and image prompts. I'm the king of typos. Okay. You will take input and use that to generate. For this image, let's go back. For this one, we got 3 words up here. So here I'll try to say 3 to 4 words for the header, maybe 2 to 4 words for the subheader. Just helps it stay consistent with like visually, because if you have it 6 words in there, then it's going to get all like funky. Okay. So you'll take an input, we'll take an input and use that to generate a header and subheader based around the topic. The header should be no more than 4 words, and the subheader should be as well. So we'll see what it does with that. What I don't want it to do is just put outputting 4 each time. So we might come back and then just say have a range. Don't always make it that one. Okay. And so we're saying you're an expert content creator that creates unique and bold copy for content, captions, and image prompts. You will take an input and use that to generate a header and a subheader based around the topic. The header should be no more than 4 words, and the subheader should be no more than 4 as well. You will also generate an image prompt that will be used in this post. The image must be 1-to-1 ratio and have a transparent background that will be overlaid on a white background. Yeah, we'll go with this for now and see if it gets it. Usually with these, you'd like to be a little more, just very explicit in the instructions. But for this, with typing it all out, I'm just going to do it like this. I'm not going to go back and forth and test it. We just want the image to output. But little tip, sometimes what I'll do is I'll go into ChatGPT and I'll work in it to get the prompt and then kind of just work at the prompt to get it to where I want. And then you can also, if you have access to the API, which if you're using it here, you can go on the API playground and compare multiple models and see what works best for your use case. So then what we also want to do is say output put in a JSON object following JSON object using these three key value pairs. And we want header, subheader, image prompt. Okay, that looks good. And then up here, we're going to map in the previous response, but this should be fine right now. Okay. Edit fields. So yeah, an input, let's say we want to, it could really be about anything. Let's say social media. Social media and AI. I don't know. Let's see what it does with that. Okay, so we got our input coming in. Let's run this guy. And let's pull this into here. And so we're just going to take that, and we could say something. Use this input. Basically, the system, you're telling it like what it is, what it's going to do with the information, how to process it, how to output it. And then with the user, you're just dropping in what information to use dynamically. And you can add some more. It doesn't have to be like this short, but just for the sake of this demonstration, I'm throwing that in. And then let's see what we'll do here. We'll run this and we'll see how it outputs. What do we click on? Okay. So we got header, AI meets social media, future of connection. Image prompt, 1:1 ratio, transparent background, a human hand reaching out to shake hands with a robotic hand, surrounded by subtle icons. Popular social media platforms, minimalist design, a vibrant yet simple color palette, no text. Sounds good to me. So we'll pull this in. I have this prompt enhancer that I built out in the back end. It's only work on it. It's a little buggy right now, so I don't really use it. But yeah, we'll keep it like that. And let's just run this for that step. And it takes a little bit. The new GPT-image-1 is a bit slow. So while we're waiting for that, let's head over to Placid. And let's make sure this is saved. Oh, actually, we got to grab this guy. Okay, so we're going to copy this, the template UID. We'll copy that. And so we'll head back here and we'll see. So it's going to output like this. You can view and download, but yeah, sure, that works for now. Depending on the style you're going for, you can be, like I said, a lot more explicit with your prompting, but this will be good for now, just for showing this. So the URL that the endpoint we're trying to reach is https API placid.app/API/rest/images. So that's where we are going to post our image and our text, and we're going to target the specific template. So we got that in. For the header, we'll need to do an authorization. So you should be able to, you can just throw your Placid authorization token in here, and if you go into your Placid account, you go to APIs and API tokens, and then it'll be in there. And you just create one for the different places you're gonna be running it. Yeah, and so that's all you really need for the auth. Then you're gonna send body. I like to use JSON, just easier because there's a lot of nested stuff. Okay, so I have the body, and I'll go through what this is gonna look like. This is from a different one. So we'll just make sure everything lines up. Okay, so what we want to check is we want to first make sure the template UUID is the same. So let's make sure we're targeting our black on white. Slide 1, copy that again, come over here, paste it in. Okay, good. Create now, set to true. Layers, you're going to put in the layers you're trying to target in here. So in this one, like I said, we're targeting every layer but the shape layer, which is the background. So we're going to target the main image, and here's how it's going to look. So we're targeting all of these, right? So layers, main image. And this is going to be case sensitive too. So make sure that you're targeting it like this. It's got to be capital M, capital I. So come back over here, main image, good. Then image, because there's an image in the main image. That's what we're targeting, is the image. If we were targeting something else, dynamically trying to change maybe the format, or there's more options it will get into with like different text boxes and different shapes and colors and stuff like that. So you gotta be explicit about what you're specifically trying to target. So we're targeting the image, and then this one we will be pulling in the image from the previous prompt. And then header, okay, capital H, lowercase subheader. Cool. So we'll run this, and then we'll be able to map in these boxes. One thing I gotta double check on is being able to pull in this image. I think we're gonna need to temporarily host it on ImageBB or AWS or something to get a URL for it. So we will just run this. It's gonna fail at the Placid HTTP request, but what we're really just trying to do right now is pull everything in from the front or from the beginning, and then just map it all in, and then also verify that this doesn't go through, which I'm almost positive it doesn't go through. We could try it and see. I doubt it's going to take it. And here is the image gen. We are fast forwarding, and here we go. Fast forwarding now, and here we go. So everything went through. Yeah, you know what? Let's see what it does. I doubt it's going to do anything. And maybe we need to target it differently, but so I'll open this up, close this. Okay, so we want to pull in the header and the subheader like that. I like opening this window. So if you have this, if you change the expression, you got this little guy in the bottom right. And I like opening this because it shows you what it's going to look like in plain text on the output. And yeah, this I don't think is going to do anything. We could see, we might be able to target the binary, but I think it's an object. I'll be able to get to it. And one thing I do in here, okay, let's just see what this does. It's probably going to throw an error. Image URL null. So this isn't the one. The image URL is what we would want to be hitting. But I think this might have made it throw an error. So you should see like an AWS URL. And that's just kind of like a temporary one that Placid gives you. This guy right here. Nope. Okay. So we got AI social media, powering digital connection. That's our header and subheader. The image is still the one that was in there already. So what we're going to do here, let's make a little space. Okay, so this is just because HTTP requests can get a little, usually you're going to want to like reference some documentation depending on the API you're trying to target. So I just pulled this one in from this flow I'm using in another workflow. So I didn't have to just retype all this stuff in, but I'll go over it. Okay, so it's going to be a post method to this URL, the HTTPS API-image-1 upload. And yeah, again, this is all on their kind of API docs. The query parameters will send a key, which is going to give us access, and then an expiration. So this is optional, I believe. 32,000 seconds. I think that's the most you can do on the tier I have, or I don't remember. I just remember saying something like that, 32,500 or something. I think it's like a day. So I just put that. So if it goes in and then the workflow fails and I get the notification and I come back on later, the image isn't gone. I have to like go back through and try to rerun all that. It's just, it's still staying there so I can pick up where I left off. Let's see, then we got the body. So yeah, we're gonna do form data and then we're gonna name it image. Then we're gonna input data fields. You can keep this as fixed and just write data or whatever this is called in the previous output. And then redirects just popped up when I input the curl. So we're just gonna leave that. And this should give you a URL. Okay, and the URL we want to target is this. There's a ton of different ones on here. I think it's gonna be just, nope, not those ones. This one in the data is the one that I use and always seems to work. Okay. So I'm gonna come back here and here's where we're pulling it. So we're gonna just grab this guy, map it in, and then that's gonna be the image URL. So now this should work and give us the Placid slide that we are trying to build with all of these, the image, the subheader, and the header dynamically populated. Okay, so where did that come from? Did it make a new one? Oh, it must have made a new one. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this made a new one, which is fine. What you want to do in coming here is if it's like on the white background, the prompts I have are, this needs to be this color. On the black background, I have it outputting gold. But those prompts take hours and hours to build out. And then it's nice because you can just reuse them over and over again. So definitely put time into prompt engineering. It's going to save you a lot of hassle. So right now I'm just switching it to the black background, white text, and this image that it gave is going to show up a lot better so you can see it. Okay. Cool. So AI means social media, powering digital connection, yada. And there it is. So yeah, what's cool about this, and again, this is very high level. What's cool about this though is you can build out all of your templates. You can get really creative so they don't all look the same. And you can even build logic into here that changes background colors based off of certain things or based off of randomness. Depending on how creative you can get, you can populate entire social media channels with unique content. And it doesn't need to just be cookie cutter. Oh, it looks like you're using the same exact template every time, especially with image gen. And you can also dynamically hide and show different variables on the post. So there's a lot you can do with this. And it's nice because you build it out and you get a little creative, you build some logic into it. And then honestly, this could be sourcing from, you could just be sourcing this from an RSS feed, which I have in one of my other ones. So you find an RSS feed for, say, like a news article site. You pull that in here and you'd probably want to like put another chat module or node right here and then just summarize and output the topic, put it into here. But basically, you could just have this running once a day or every 12 hours or whatever. And it could be polling, and it can even be polling from multiple ones. So you could just be grabbing these guys and just pulling them all, you probably want to have edit fields here. Oh, never mind. We do have to edit fields. But it would pretty much look like this, actually. You'd come here, you'd set um, the variables you want to use, and yeah, then these are just going off at different times from different sources, pulling through, summarizing, outputting all that stuff, generating and doing this. And like I said, this would look maybe going through a couple different branches when you're building out the body slides and stuff, or you can just have them here. It wouldn't be the image BB one, but you could just have the branches here for building out the different slides with that copy dynamically. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, Placid is a really powerful tool, just like Banner Bear, just like some of the other ones. This one I like. It just visually, it makes the most sense to me as far as editing templates and then just like building them out in Canva and bringing it over there. That with n8n just opens up a lot of doors. So hopefully you guys can get some good use out of this, and I will throw the JSON for this workflow in the description below. I look forward to doing some more of these, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So good luck.